Another thing is to be careful of people who stop and ask for directions. Keep your distance. If you are an adult, the best practice is to keep a distance, 10 to 20 feet, and speak to them from a distance. And if they will understand to stay a distance and keep your distance when answering, so you can run or you can get out of the way, get out of that situation as quick as possible. Teach your children never to talk to anyone, and just let them know that adults will and should speak to other adults when they're asking for direction or for any input. Children should avoid that at all costs. If you feel that you are being followed, and the best thing to do is to look for an area that's well populated. And gut instinct, follow your instinct. If you feel that there's someone's following you, get out of there as quick as possible and find a well-lit area. Go into a store, go into to a place that's well populated. Also, if you are in trouble, you can attract attention by screaming. Not so much screaming. And this is where I put a note in here, don't scream, because sometimes the screams will scare other people and they will run. Best thing to do is to yell and ask for assistance. Ask for them. Have a whistle that will capture their attention. And again, going back to people that are looking for an opportunity to victimize someone, really they don't want to get caught. They don't want attention. They want to do it, and they want to do it and no one else sees them. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to get caught. So make sure you attract attention if you are in trouble. And here are two important rules. Okay, strategies for everywhere you go, every day. Two important rules. First of all, always trust your instincts. If you feel uneasy in any situation, do something about it. Don't worry about feeling looking like you're being a fool, or being foolish, or overly cautious. Forget all that. There's a saying that says that I would err on the side of caution. Be cautious. You might be wrong, but I'd rather you be wrong by being overly cautious and maybe even looking a little foolish than being wrong and being victimized, being assaulted. So always trust your instincts. Get that gut feeling. Also, believe in yourself. Believe that you do have the strength to do what it takes to get out of a situation. And know that you can be independent. Teach your children this. Believe in you. Believe in yourself. Have your children know that they have within themselves to make that choice, to move to action, to get out there. And don't allow yourself to be intimidated. And don't tell your children, don't allow yourself to be intimidated. Stand up and move with confidence, believe in yourself, and get to safety. Good. Now, some more tips about avoiding potentially dangerous situations. Again, if you're in a situation where you're with a person or a group of people and they make you feel uncomfortable or uneasy, get out of there. Walk away. Hey, trust your instincts. If your instinct says, you know what, something's not right here, get out of the situation. Remove yourself from the situation. Again, always have your cell phone with you. Take it with you everywhere you go. And know the numbers, starting with 911 and all the other emergency calls, people that you can trust, that you can call and that you can contact. And also know where the emergency phones are if you're in school, on campus, in your business. If you don't have a phone, and ask yourself, what if I don't have a phone? Where are the emergency phones? Where can I call? Where can I go to make a phone call? Okay, and here's another thing. This is one thing that I want to make sure that everyone understands this. At all costs, no matter what happens, avoid getting put into a vehicle, a car, a van, at all costs. And make sure you make this clear to your children. And it's got to be clear to everyone, us adults, everyone, women, men, teens, young adults, children, that no matter what happens, if somebody's trying to grab you and force you into a car, fight for your life at all costs. Shout, get people's attention, become this wild animal and fight for your life. You do not want to get into that vehicle. You do not want to get into that van, because that will minimize your chances of escaping that dangerous situation. And please, please, please fight. And I tell my students this, that if somebody grabs you and picks you up, become this wild cat, this animal. And And it's like trying to pick up a cat that does not want to be picked up. They get squirmy, they start scratching, they start biting. And teach your children, let your children know that's okay to do that. Do not get into a car. This is a serious, serious, serious situation, and you avoid at all costs getting into that car. This is not just a fight to not get into a car. This is a fight for your life. And so let me just emphasize that once again, at all costs, avoid getting into a vehicle. Now there are programs out there, workshops, classes out there, training out there that you can participate in that will educate you further on self-defense and self-protection. There are also products out there that you can purchase for self-defense, and so make sure you research and go out there and feel free. I highly recommend getting training in this. And there are things you will learn, and you'll learn quickly things you can do, and through just simple practice, and you'll get really good at it. That will help you and serve you. There are also those products. Research them and get training by someone who's properly trained to teach you how to use these products that can help, that can assist you in self-defense. Okay, so go ahead and do that research. Now, martial arts schools, they're everywhere. And our school, we do talk about self-defense, and we teach self-defense. So I do highly recommend going to martial arts schools, but I highly recommend that you specifically ask about self-defense and their self-defense programs. Make sure you specifically ask them about whether they teach realistic self-defense tactics and techniques and strategies. Specifically ask them. You can simply ask them this: hi, I'm looking for self-defense classes. Do you teach realistic self-defense classes and teaching strategies and tactics and techniques? That's how you ask them. Specifically ask that question. And then check to make sure that the instructors are educated and are experienced in teaching self-defense tactics, strategies, and techniques. Just because they say, yes, we teach self-defense, doesn't mean they necessarily are educated or well educated with what's relevant today and current today and what's going on in today's world. So make sure you know that you are confident that they are experienced and educated instructors. Also, I just also want to stay on this subject of self-defense classes and workshops. Now, very quickly, the goal of a basic self-defense program is to provide realistic self-defense options, strategies, and tactics, regardless of a person's level of physical conditioning. So it doesn't matter whether you perceive yourself to be weak, strong, doesn't matter, should not matter what a person's physical conditioning is, nor does it matter whether they are handicapped or not. A basic self-defense program and an instructor that's well trained and well educated will teach you realistic self-defense options for you and for your unique physical situation. Doesn't matter. And that's why it's important that self-defense, when you look for a self-defense program, that you ask that it's realistic and that the instructors are educated. Because everyone can defend themselves, no matter who they are, how old they are, whether they're 80 years old or whether they are 5 years old. There are options that are realistic options that they can learn. And it's simple. So a basic self-defense program that's conducted by a well-trained and educated instructor can teach this. And then make sure you check that out. And also keep in mind that self-defense programs are not meant to be martial arts programs. Okay, you should not be required to be ranked or to train like an athlete to be successful at protecting yourself. And if you go to a program that gives you that impression that you must rank and that you must train like an athlete, that is not the program. That's a realistic program. So make sure you check that very, very carefully. Okay, here's just a quick reminder that if you need help, 911. 911, and this is brilliant, and I love it when They came up with this idea many, many, many years ago. If you are in an emergency, dial 911. Whether it's a medical emergency, or there's a criminal activity going on there, or there's a fire, an accident, dial 911. And these days we have the technology where we can get help as faster than we've ever in history. Okay, so please make sure you teach your children 911 and as early as possible, as soon as possible.